Hello world. We're going to do part two of the Coal Miner Railroad. And if you're just joining us, missed part one, the plan here is to make a two-track mainline railroad that goes around basically the flat part of the map. We got our preliminary track work in here with a max 0.5% grade. We're going to also make this a double track mainline. It's going to go around all this. As you can see, our ultimate goal is to make a 100 car coal train. We're going to have to change that, obviously. That's going to come through here, through this valley, start going back down. We're not trying to get there the easy way. Then we're going to come this way and go around the lake. We're just trying to make a long run, basically. Oh, you do stream on Twitch, okay. We have an older Xbox. I don't think it could handle streaming. We play F1 on that. And I don't know how well... Oh, we'll make it. We'll make a nice double track main line around this lake. Then we're going to have to find our way back into this cut right here, which may not be that easy. We're going to come through here. All with two-track mainline. Going to come across this valley. This is where it's going to get tricky. I don't know how we're going to get through here, but we're going to try and get through here. Through this cut. Turn. Guess we just have to make a turn here and here somehow. I don't know where I'm going to put these freight depots. We'll worry about this when we get here. Maybe we won't go this far into this valley. Maybe we'll stop. Trees are easy. We could probably put it over here. This might be the final resting point for the freight depots, but then the turnaround could be in that valley. Now the reason why we're doing a dog bone loop, the two-track mainline that loops onto itself at the end. And we'll get a passenger train just driving around the map on its own. And we'll have to avoid it. Alright. Now, should I make the main line go through here? Where's our freight yard going to be? That's the real question. The freight yard should be right in front of this. Or alongside of it. Yes, I say alongside of it. Let's see how far we can go without running into terrain. Pretty far. Look at this. Remember, we got to store 100 cars. We're doing it, and it's more than 100 cars, because 100 cars is just a coal train. And if I can do 100, I'm gonna go like more. We'll try and do like 150. I wonder how many engines it's going to take to pull 100 cars of coal up a 0.5% grade. That's going to be interesting. I'd say 2 engines, maybe. All right, let's bring it out to about here. Left switch. No, need a right switch. Why not? I swear, I don't have dyslexia, but in this game, I do. Is that weird? How much do I have to extend this? Let's try adding this and then putting a left switch. Nope, that wasn't enough. Let's try 2 crosses. Oh, getting closer. Try 3 crosses. And this is probably going to be too far. Oh my god, so close. 4 crosses. And a left switch. Ooh, holy smokes. That lines up. Like, pretty good. Look how close that is. We learned something. Alright, it's going to use the circle mode, but look what it wants to do. Look what it wants to do. It wants to do crazy stuff. So let's go from this side here. And it works. So 4 crosses will get you lined up with the spawn track. Pretty much. If you're doing what I'm doing here. I am going to have to delete this. Put down 4 crosses again. 2, 3, 4, and a left switch. It's close enough for me, man. I am not a stickler for perfection. Good evening, my bad self. How are you? Yeah, Heist and Khan are fun to watch. They both have a lot to say, more than me. Heist is very knowledgeable about real railroads. And Khan just knows how to talk. And he has like a good voice. Perfect. Alright, that was my Khan imitation, by the way. Now the rest of these, should I make them the same spacing? Let's see, 100 cars. I can listen to me be indecisive with myself. Alright, let's keep it uniform. Here we go. 3, 4. Boom. And one more. This should be enough to house the 100 cars. This is not how I make my freight yards, but we're doing it this way. This time, oh, we could put one more in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. And then run our track back. Track back. Oh, it's on a grade. Somehow I had 1% selected. But I give it to Khan because he's taking the time to learn about trains through playing the game and with Heist. Maybe did some studying on his own. I too have had to learn a lot, even though I know a lot about trains in general from hanging around railroads. Yeah, I worked for the subway system in New York City for a little bit, which leads me to story time. I should have like a little music. Story time, story time, story time. This will be a short story. So yeah, like when I was somewhere between the ages of 5, 6, 7. Why won't this sucker cut, man? Screw you. My dad took me to Coney Island shop, New York City, where he worked for the MTA, and let me operate the crane that lifts the cars off the trucks. That was a cool experience. I meant to hit J and I hit G. JG. It's back over here. Starting to look like something. This is a very widely spaced freight yard. But it kind of gives like a cool effect, I think. That was incidental. Look at that. Might even look better. Let's see. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be centering myself on the map, zooming in so you can see what I'm working on. That's a lot easier to see in Railroads Extended. Alright. Freight yard. Done. Now the question is, I should have continued something here. Where's the 2-track main line going to come in? How's my track going to start and end? That's the question. Well, the freight yard is the freight yard. It's not going to be the 2-track main line. That should be the 2-track main line over there. Now, if I'm running passenger trains on it while loading coal, that could be a problem. That just might be a problem. I'm not dead set on the whole passenger train idea anyway. Let's continue this run over to the iron mine. We're gonna think about the whole passenger train thing. Not so sure. I'm not so sure I'm gonna do that. Did I make it? It. This should have been more than 90. I messed that up. I messed that up. Let's try something here. Let's delete this. I do have room for switch track. I need a right switch. Right? Yep. Now if I did this right, with my S curves, right? We built this in part 1. You were watching. This should line right up. Oh, look how close it is. I will take it and blame it on the 0.5 difference in the game that we sometimes run into. So I did this whole S curve around the coal mine using equal radius, equal length segments and 4 segments to get back again almost exactly parallel. Now, am I going to make this turn? That is the question. I don't think I make this turn now. We want 90. No, we might be able to go less than 90 because this is not really the main line anymore. Let's see where we wind up. 55 might work. So we want to keep our segments about 55. The only thing is if I set a passenger train to run through here at like full speed, what's going to happen? Now the question is, before I start chopping all these trees, I don't like that 55. I'm not a fan of the 55. We're going to redo all this. Sorry, guys. Redoing this. Put our switch here. That's what I should have done from the beginning. Now we can get a 90. If I had a laptop and was able to buy this game, play it as soon as I get 7,000 in game money, I'm buying the ET, the Tweety. Yeah, the Tweety is a good locomotive. Well, you can just cheat. You don't have to play through. If you use Railroads Extended, you can give yourself as much money and XP as you want, which is what I'm going to do. That's why I'm going to be buying 100 cars and a bunch of engines. I mean, I've been playing this game for 2 years. I've earned probably $1 million in the game, but on different maps, not this map, obviously. So you can't transfer money from one map to the other. All right, so this is what I want to see here. Let's see something. If I place a cross, crosses are not. If you put two crosses together, it's not the same distance as two switches. That sucks. I wish it was. That would make track building beautiful. It's almost. Look at that. It's almost. Anyway, I can see just how far to run this. So right there. Now I know the two tracks are even. Okay, so if that's a 90-meter radius, what does this have to be? Let's see something. Is this only one segment? This is all one segment. So this doesn't work for making exactly parallel track. Because when you hook up to this cross, the spline gets bent. Best way to describe it. I did this previously on my wheat farm on my other map. Railroads extended. Yep. Just look it up. Or I can give you the link. If you want the link. Alright, so this is 90 meters. 94. I like that. Come on. Where's my track? Right about there. I didn't actually connect it to that because it would screw it up. It's pretty close to being perfect. I'm trying to cut down a tree with the a rail demolition ball there. I don't know if you caught that. I like building track. No, it's free. Let's see. I'll get it for you. Announcements. Copy link. Put that over here. Nope. That's the Discord link. I don't want that. Copy link. There you go. Alright, let's start running some track backwards here. Oh look, another rock in the air. It's probably because they used a paintbrush to put the rocks and they put the trees first. So the rocks wound up on the trees. Alright, let's just continue this. This looks good. Back here. Oh wait, that's 94. It's a mistake. What about kind of aim general direction of the Ironman? And we want to change this to 90. Now, I'm probably not exactly parallel anymore. So what I would do is, as we're just kind of running around here, we're going to put a double switch in. Except it's supposed to be a freaking right switch. My dyslexia working again. This one. And then I am going to run. This is the spacing we want, like a double switch spacing. Now you see this is not going to perfectly line up because we lost a little. But that's okay. We just circle mode it. So do you have this game there? It's IH the Thunder Taker? I don't get it. How'd you get that name? Explain your name, mister. You got some explaining to do. Hello? Alright, we're gonna branch off to serve the iron mine. Hello. Miesman, 1982. Were you like born in 1982? I was a party animal in 1982. Thank you for following. Greatly, greatly appreciated, sir. I also have a YouTube channel if you're interested, where I post these videos and other. I'm starting to post real train stuff. So if you find, just look up Humanity Kills on YouTube. Now let's put a right switch in. Thank you. I am also, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Let's put a right or left switch in. Let's do that. Well, that almost worked out perfect. And we'll go with our 94 meter radius track. For some reason it doesn't want to go all the way. Me, rocks, me, don't get along. I've had the rocks go after me. I think they actually don't like me. Oh, this might be tricky. So let's get our track in over here. Our goal is to haul 100 coal cars. That's why we're building this. High school's initials. IHS Undertaker. Got it. To about here. Now let's see. This doesn't have to be 90. Ooh. I like this approach. Right here. This is why we built backwards. So we could do this. And that is nice and smooth. I am not looking forward to buying 100 coal cars, by the way. Oh, let's take a look at what we got so far. That looks nice. We're building one whole town here. This freight yard's kind of like far away from everything, but it'll work. It's all coming together. Oh, wrestler. You know, I used to not really like wrestling that much. Then story time, story time, story time. Then I married a woman with 2 children, and one of them loved wrestling. So I kind of liked it because of him, or I would watch it because of him. Still didn't really care for it too much. Oh, look at this. Son of a gun. Oh, we're going to be on a little bit of an incline here. We should probably... that little incline's not going to kill us. So then, later on in life... Thank you for the follow on YouTube also. Later on in life, he bought tickets to, like, not a main event. Like, it's one of those... I don't know what they call it in wrestling. It's probably, like, equivalent to the minor leagues. You know what I mean? But there was some famous wrestlers there. It's in a, like, minor league baseball stadium. And there was a few very famous wrestlers there. Or actually, no, back up before that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Before that, we were in Universal Studios, and we were done for the day. We were walking out, and I don't even know where the heck we were, but we're on like some back alley. It's like wasn't very well lit, you know, and there's just this guy standing there, and he's like, we need people in the audience. You want to come in? You want to come in?" We're like, okay." You know, it was like a little weird scenario. So he ushers he ushers me and my family in, including my son who loves wrestling. And it was a TNA event being filmed live. We saw the Beer Brothers, Macho Randy Savage, I think. I don't remember. I'm not, like I said, I don't follow wrestling like my son does. And it was great. I watched wrestling live for the first time. And dude, these guys, even though, you know, it's all fake or whatever, they are freaking athletes. They do some crazy stuff, man. What got me was I watched this one guy. He didn't look like anything, you know? To look at him, like I think at the time I was in better shape than he was. Well, he threw somebody out of the ring. Threw somebody out of the ring. He chased after him. And he flew. Does this not line up the way I think it should? Let's try this. He ran across the ring, threw himself at the ropes, right? Put his body like horizontal and flew, you know, his body was horizontal or parallel to the ground, flew through this between the second and third rope, like straight through without touching nothing, like freaking Superman, and landed on the other guy outside the ring, you know. And then of course they started hitting each other with chairs or whatever, and I saw that and I was like, what the heck? That's insane. That's when I realized, holy crap. Yeah. No, it was televised. It was televised. It was a TNA event. I couldn't tell you the number, but it was TNA. I think at the time they were on TNT television, Turner. This was at Universal Studios in Florida. And I think we even watched the event when it was on TV. I wonder if I could find that event. We got sprayed by beer. Sprayed with beer by the Beer Brothers. You think these are parallel? Let's see how parallel these are. They're not very parallel. So I'm not an expert at making parallel track. Oh no, that is pretty damn parallel. Yeah, good. Alright, good. But the funny thing that happened at that event was I have 4 boys, right? And then the youngest one, at first we were all together and we were they put us up against the fence where the wrestlers walk into the ring, and they come in rowdy and they're throwing beer and and people are getting rowdy, you know what I mean? And my kid, he must have been like 4 or 5 at the time, you know. He was getting sprayed with beer and I'm like, this is really not cool for a 4-year-old. So I took him into the stands. And there was no seats. But the security said just sit on the steps because it was like too late at that point and they didn't want us. They invited us in. They didn't want us to leave, right? So I'm like sitting on the steps. I was fine with that, but this guy next to me is like looking over at me, and he's all hyped up. You know, I can see it in his eyes. He's like all hyped up. He wants to fight. I could tell he wanted to fight, and he was visually upset that I was sitting on. He goes, "You know, you're not supposed to sit on those steps." I'm like, "Dude, you just watched the security guard sit me here. What are you talking about?" You know. So he looks away. Then keeps looking at me, you know. And I can see he just wants to like start trouble. Anything, he probably said something else to me again. I'm concentrating on the game and the story at the same time. He's like, "You're not supposed to sit there." And I forgot exactly how I put it to him, but I kind of went off on him really hard and told him that I would throw him across the ring like we just witnessed. And like I got up and got loud and everything, and then he shut up. Because I was being nice to him, you know, and I think he thought because I was a nice guy, he could just like bully me or whatever. And then when I just snapped because he started doing that to me in front of my son. Like, all right, you're not gonna do anything to me in front of my son. I'm not a tough guy. Like, I don't ever pretend to be a tough guy, you know. But don't fuck with me in front of my family. That is not happening. And then he shut up. You would have said the same thing, right? And we got to see that for free too. That was cool. I need a switch track here, right? To service this. Where are we gonna put the switch track? Oh, I put one in. Duh. Yeah, so that was my first experience seeing it live. My point telling this story was like seeing it live made me appreciate it a whole lot more. Because you realize that even though it's fake or whatever, they are athletes. Plus, being with my son, he just loves it, and he will tell you everything that's going on and talk it up, and he gets so excited that you have to get excited. You know what I mean? And that's what made it fun for me. We're gonna have to probably fill this thing up with iron. No, I don't think we need to fill it up with iron. It really doesn't use a lot of iron. What? This might be a little high, but it should work. If it doesn't, I'll have to fix it. Whatever. You know what? Oh, screw it. I'm leaving it. It's going to be the one spot that the grade is a little higher. Then, like my second time, going to a wrestling event, and I haven't been to one since, was at the minor league stadium. I think we have to use this here. So this is going to be like a 4.5% or less. Oh look, less than 2%. You know what? Let's do that. That actually doesn't look too bad. That's doable. Now we don't need. Should I leave that track in? No. Take it out. And like I said, there was like all these up and coming acts and then a few famous people. I guess they're the ones that sponsor. They sponsor the new upcoming wrestlers. Well, we had front row seats. And we were yelling at the guys. The guys were being thrown out of the ring and hitting the fence I'm leaning against. And they were like getting their sweat was getting on me and stuff. Like gross, yeah. But I'm just describing like how close we were to the action, and that was fun. Like when you start yelling at a wrestler and you get a reaction out of them, that's funny. Now I built this track with the intention of, okay, the second track is going to be on the left side. I'm confusing myself here. The left side. So this track is going to go to these two tracks here. And these two tracks can actually go into a loop. Oh wait, we want to connect it so we can just come in here, pick up some rails, go around, maybe we'll put some crossovers. And bring the rails over here. Alright, let's set this up. I'm making this up as I go, in case you haven't noticed. Anybody want to guess how many hours this is going to take me to complete this railroad and get 100 cars going? Not including the props. Because I do kind of, if I like it, I may keep this as a base railroad and add props and then add other industries in the hills. I don't know. I think in 2 weeks Railroader comes out. My boss made a joke about when Beckley Travel Plaza gets built, this guy is going to have a crew to go and cut it, and I would be on his crew. I looked at my boss and said, Matt, you know that once he tries to tell me how to do something, that I've been doing it here for 4 years, and his ego gets the best of him. You know that it's not going to be pretty. I hate egos, man. I am like the last person to have an ego. I mean, I do have some pride, but I don't have an ego. People think I have an ego sometimes because I kind of know a lot. And I say that humbly, really humbly. And the reason I know a lot is because I'm lucky to be able to figure things out, and I never stop like studying. Like, I'm the master of probably like 4 or 5 trades. And I use that experience to run my business. So I know a lot. But having said that, right? I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like, someone shows me that I'm wrong, I don't care. Okay, cool. I'm wrong. I learned something. I get excited because, well, if there's anything I've learned in life, like you grow up thinking you know stuff, you know. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. You don't know what you don't know, right? All right, we're gonna start our 0.5% climb. Hopefully match up with that rail there. This segment should be 100 meters long. on 130. I do HVAC and plumbing. So I was also a facility director for a large nursing home where I had to learn. Oh my God, that place fried my brain. Literally fried my brain. I'm gonna try and meet up with this here. We're at 230 meters, so we can keep going. Somehow we have to get parallel track here. Yeah, the whole facility director thing, I had to learn a lot of stuff. I was responsible for a lot. We are not at the right height. We may have to go more than 0.5%. Let's do double track spacing with this instead of switches. Let's bring it all the way back to here if we can. We did it. All right, so that's probably like 0.6%, I'm guessing. We're staying close within the parameters. I really wanted the whole thing to be level, but this map is not going to let me make a level track. Yeah, facility director, yeah. Story time, story time, story time. To give you an example, right? Oh, it's been a long day. The sun is setting. To give you an example of how much I was responsible for, so like every facility has a life safety officer. So I go to this conference with my boss, who's the administrator, and the guy starts the conference. He's like, oh, if you're here with your life safety officer and if you have more than 300 beds in your facility, you probably have 2 life safety officers. I looked at my boss and I said, you know, we have 360 beds and life safety was like 1/9 of my job. Literally 1/9 of my job. I said, how can the job of 2 people be 1/9 of my job? There's no way I could do it right. That's just the way it was. I was in charge of life safety, emergency preparedness, the facility with 360 beds, 4 buildings, water towers, sewage treatment plant, armed security guards, about 12 maintenance guys, 40 contractors, manage their contracts, all the purchasing, $2 million budget for purchasing equipment and supplies, all the medical beds. Why would you chop down? I can run a nursing home, but I can't chop a fucking tree. No. I had the time I left, I had $16.5 million in capital projects in the works. So I had to micromanage that. You know, the nursing home beds. Every single thing in the facility has to have a log attached to it. I'm going to change the daylight here. I don't want it to be dark. Yeah, every single thing in the facility has to have a log attached to it. How am I going to do this? And everything gets inspected, right? Responsible for all that. I was also in charge of fire safety. So I taught, we had 500 employees, taught them all every year about fire safety. When the state inspectors came, how am I going to do this? Well, this might be actually, maybe I can do something cool over here. Let's see something here. I'm getting sick thinking about that place. I should stop talking about it. Should have ran that over here. Let me run this line back over here. I need an approximate. It was pretty stressful. I did love my job though. Because I'm a type of person. Obviously, by watching my videos, I like challenges. So I just looked at it as a challenge, I guess, you know. And I like the old people. I cared about them, you know. Let's see. Maybe about here. Maybe we can use these things. I don't know if that spacing works or not. I could tell so many stories about that place. It didn't end well for me over there because, well, COVID came, and I'm in New York in a nursing home, and it was bad. I think these need to be further down. Then I volunteered for the vaccine. I didn't even be talking about this on YouTube or whatever, but this is a true story. Volunteered for the vaccine, and it pretty much almost killed me. And they threatened the doctors who wrote me medical exemptions, and anyway, lost my job there. But I might get it back because now that all the truth is all coming out about that stuff. Just sad. Didn't want to lose my job, you know? But I have my business. This is not right. This is really tough figuring this shit out. Oh wait, I want to change that. Look at that. What do you think? Will this work? Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, this is interesting. This is something new and different. Gonna be this one. I don't know why this place, but that was weird. So, what? What is there double track here? Look at the double track. Where did that come from? That was highly irregular. This game does that to you sometimes. This looks alright. I don't even know why this is 2-track. Doesn't need to be 2-track. The silence is deafening. Sometimes you don't have to overthink things. My idea here is to kind of turn this whole little area into a city with buildings, maybe add like a streetcar or something. I don't know how we could do that. I wonder if there's a way. Let me experiment here. If I run some track, right? I was just thinking to myself, how am I going to make streetcar track, right? Hello? All right, put that. Now I want to hide the ties. Right? Maybe I can hide it with this. That. Like how, I wonder what height I can get away with where the train will still work. Oh yeah, that's freaking streetcar right there almost. Did they fuel Betsy up for me? Yep. There's pressure in it. Oh, I never noticed that noise before. Looks okay. Alright, so that's how we're gonna make streetcar traffic. Oh, by the way, that's the noise it makes. If you watch my not the last YouTube short, the one before that. How do you delete this shit? You have to use groundwork. Alright, that's how we're going to make streetcars. And by streetcar, I mean Betsy pulling a coach. Alright. Let's continue this track. We should probably start curving over. And also, let's see. Let's go 90. And we're going to need a right hand switch. I'm not going to get fancy here. I'm just going to tie this in because of the spacing of these crossovers is probably not the same as the switch. So I'm going to let the game figure that out for me. That curve radius. And we're going to go ahead and delete this. Go about there. And we can finish this line. There it is. Oof. We got our city built. I would say that kind of completes part 2. And over here it's 12:32 at night. I have so many people watching me. I don't want to quit. Let's see. Should we do part 3? If I do part 3, it's going to be another hour. Who's in for another hour? I took a nap before. I'm ready to go. Look at this. Look how interesting this is. Let's see something here. Click on this. Could expand this a little bit. Just needs to move over. Now you can kind of see the track layout. Then we can build a city in here with all sorts of houses and buildings and whatnot. Where's my logging camp? Oh yeah, there's a log. Oh, we didn't hook the logging camp up. We didn't hook the logging camp up. So we're not done. How do we tie the logging camp in so that it flows to the sawmill? Oh, because I only have to bring it to here and that's it. You know, the connection between the logging camp and here, oh, I still need to get cordwood out. I was just going to say, like, I don't even have to connect it to the rest of the railroad. We still have to get cordwood over there, right? So which side is the cordwood? It's this side. So if I come this way with the cordwood, maybe tie in over here or over here. We could tie in over here, put a crossover to get to that track. No, we don't need a crossover. Yes, we need a crossover so we can get to that track and we can drop the cordwood. Then the iron mine, getting iron over there, be a couple moves. That's okay. I like operation. Let's go ahead and put a crossover and a switch over here. All right. Yep, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end this YouTube video, but I'm not going anywhere. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.